How much is your stamp collection worth? A lot of the times you find old stamp collections or get handed stamp collections and you don't know how much they're worth. I had a gentleman named Rod up in our estate that we live give me his stamp collection last night, and I'm going to open it up today and have a look with all of you, and I'll assess it. All right, so strap yourself in and let's watch this. Cheers. All right, so when he showed me how big the stamp collection is, I thought, it's not too big. Mine's a lot bigger, and I bet a lot of you out on here watching this is a lot bigger as well. But we'll open it up and we'll have a look. What's inside the box? All right, we've got a bag of stamps. All right, we can go through those. We've got one album. All right, there's quite a few albums. 2 albums. 3 albums. So my first take, just by looking at the albums, they're the old Chinesey type ones. So they're nothing that very significant. But these are very old. Oh, I don't want to jump the gun. Kellogg Stamps of the World. So it looks like he must have had this when he was a boy. All right, let's have a look. So at the first, because they're not albums looking like this, if I'd unpacked albums like that, I would then be very surprised. Or just even albums like this, the Lighthouse albums, and I would be like, ooh, wonder what that is. But no, that's my first hint. Coming in a box and having the older albums looks like a kid's collection, but that's just the first 5 minutes. But we'll have a look and see if we can find any value. Or what else? It could be wrong or right with it. So the first thing has sort of set my alarm bells ringing that this is not worth much. And I could be wrong, we haven't looked through all the albums yet, is you got the Beginner's Guide to Stamp Collecting, and it's sort of discussing, and this is done back in the 80s, on how to collect stamps. All right, so there's no catalogues, no specialist catalogues. So straight away I'm thinking, all right, this might not be too amazing. A lot of dust on it, and it's kept in a box. All right, so straight away we've got different dates. We've got an 86, a lot of stamps, and then you've got some older stamps from the 70s. So they're not in order. And they're just, so a bit of Christmas, but not in the order of Christmas. So, look, I appreciate the stamps, but they're not in any particular order. So I would expect a country to be, so this is an Australian collection, so what I would expect would be a collection that the stamps are in order. And what that looks like would be something like this. So, beautiful album, and straight away tagged with the specialist catalogue number, and they're on order of issue. There's so many pictures of the one stamp because I've, min unhinged, cancelled the order, used. I've got some nice cancellations I found. There's official service stamps, first day of issue stamp. So we're looking at a more specialised collection, which is worth a lot more. All right. So we don't see this level of a collection. What we see is I found some stamps, not sure how to put them in because they haven't got a catalogue, which lowers the value. Yeah, you can still find a £5 shilling bridge, but it's not here. There you go. Now they put a few covers in. They've used the glue on the end of the envelope to stick them in, which removes value from the envelope because now that's not mint unhinged. These are all fairly popular, came out in the 80s. A lot of people have got these. So as we can see, now we've got different Denmark, all the common stuff. I'm just going to flip through it a bit more. These are all worth, well, not very much. You know, you probably, if you went into a Stanley Gibbons catalogue, they'd all be 10p each. And they only put that sort of value on there as a handling fee for dealers. They're quite nice, but not worth anything. France. They're all fairly common stamps. So this is what you'd expect to see in a fairly generic stamp album. Nice. There we go. I'll just come in a little bit. There you go. Still some nice stamps, but they're all fairly generic. If you watch any other videos going through old stamp albums, a lot of these stamps will come up. USA. Look, mixture of countries. So that's an Australian with USA. So straight away, it's the integrity of the collection. It's a bit all over the place. Zimbabwe, Canada. The thing is, he's enjoyed putting this together, which is the main sort of takeaway. So I would suggest that he would continue with it to enjoy it, or hand it to a club, and this album in particular would probably get $1 or $2 if anyone bid on it. But there, needs a new album too, starting to rust. These are all blank sheets. They're all too big and don't fit on the binder. These are for a bigger world binder. There we go. Next one. So yeah, that album probably worth about $5, $10 if you're lucky at a stamp meet. If you took it there, you should be able to get it. I love these older ones. As soon as you see a name written on it, you think it was done by a child. I think one of these, Rodney. This is Rod's album. So I wonder if he's started this when he was a kid. I've got my name on my first one. Oh, he's got neat writing. Angola. Oh, Argentina. Australia. See how they're all mixed up? We'll just check a few. I told him I'd check for values. I'll look for the sword here. There's no like sword sticking out. I'm just trying to look for varieties. There's no stamp on this page worth anything more than 5-10 cents. And even then, you wouldn't get that by selling it. Again, nothing on this one. That's a Christmas Island stamp. All right, let's see if there's the ST broke on the top. If there is, I could tell him. No variety. Nice stamp, worth nothing, especially because it's damaged. There's a capital kangaroo stamps, but not worth anything. Oh yeah, a couple of OS KGV, but again, all low values. They're all mixed up. Oh, there you go, some states. Let's have a look here. Check this one out for crack plate. It's not a crack plate. Again, they're all fairly generic stamps. The best one here, I would say this one here with the cancellation. But again, you'd have to find the right person to pay $1 for it. Even though I don't think I really ever seen much of that, but it's torn. It's a stamp duty. That may be worth a bit. I'd have to have a look. Austria, we know all this is common. What's this up here? Oh, it's a stamp, but it's stamp. Austria, well, we know we can get those dime a dozen. Belgium, same. Oh, you're sticking the flags in. Very nice. Belgium. Yeah, so this is a much younger collection. Brazil. It's nice. He's done it nicely. These, well, the 50 might be worth a bit more, but even still. And that one might be worth a bit. But it wouldn't be much. Canada, they're all common. So again, I think this, you might be able to get $10, $20 for it at the auction. There might be someone who wants to get the starter. But yeah, I've got a few of these books in a box for $30. Nice. Colombia, Congo. So we're still trying to look for something worth anything. A lot of these, 10, 20 cents at the most. Again, 10, 20 cents. A lot of the early stuff from Czech Republic, especially used, it's not worth that much. All these 10. I've been going through and pricing the stuff that I'm trying to sell, and a lot of this just comes up as 10p. And then you have to try and sell it for that, which is, yeah, it's just a dealer's handling fee. Oops, I missed a page. Dominica, they're beautiful. I take those stamps only because they look pretty, not because they're worth anything. I could pick them up fairly cheaply. Fiji. It's a very colourful, nice collection. Or French. Look at those. See, they're all beautiful. I love these. And again, they're not worth anything, but I love them. And even the old stuff where you think, oh my gosh, they're just the common old stuff. So everyone's got it. I mean, these stamps look beautiful, but are not worth anything. Not worth any great value. Or French Polynesia. These are probably worth a bit more. I love these ones, but probably not those ones. The later ones. But these are all nice. I love the French colonies. I think I'd like to collect those. Germany, I know these ones pretty well. And no real value. They're just all common, not in any order. Still very nice stamps. Great Britain. The castles, depending on what series they are, might be worth it, but even the condition is probably not 100%. Greece, they look so expensive, but they're not. Holland, I love these old ones here. So these stamps would have come out of bags that got delivered back in the day. So you'd buy, big packs of world stamps from a multitude of different companies back in the 80s and 70s. And that's where all these came from. They would all come from those bags. You never ever got value out of those bags. You just got a lot of common denominations that looked really expensive. But once you started looking them up, they were just fairly ordinary stamps. And that's what we see a lot of. Quite nice. But we've seen all this numerous times. Still, very pretty stamps. Oh, they are gorgeous. I love those. They are magnificent. I'm going to find those one day. I love those. Laos, remember that? Laos stamps. Malta, Mauritania, Paraguay. There you go. Mongolian stamps. Papua New Guinea. I love Papua New Guinea. No real value there. New Zealand. Just very low values. I really like these old albums. Toning's starting to come in on the pages. So this stamp collection, I think because it's been kept in a box, has not been affected. The stamps haven't been affected, so they're all in very good condition, which is fantastic. You never see that. There's a few here with toning. There's a couple you might have picked up and put in, but it hasn't spread, which is great. Russia. San Marino. So, yeah, overall assessment, I would say $10, $20 at a stamp club auction. Now, you might be able to put it online for more. You might be able to sell it for $80 on eBay and grab someone. Someone will be looking at it going, oh, that must be worth heaps. You might be able to put it on Facebook Marketplace for some of the prices I've seen these up to $200-$300, and they sit on there for, you know, months on end until the price comes down. But I reckon you probably get a good $40 for it. But they are just a starter kit for people. I mean, these all look really expensive, but they're not. These are all very common. Now, I might have missed one or two stamps that are worth a fortune, but the time you'd have to put in to find that, you know, like you'd have to go through and price every single stamp, which would take you days and days. It's just not on. Now, oh, I don't think that's worth anything. It looks like it's worth something. There's no blackjack or anything older. I think I've checked these ones before. They're not that worth that much. So you might be lucky, one or two of those might be worth $4 or $5, but it's not $1,000. All right. Oh, I have to go stamps. Oh, he counted how many stamps he had. Wow, back in the 60s. That's fantastic. All right, next one is Stamps of the World, Kellogg's. Wow, Kellogg's is the cereal brand. Oh, he's just trying to find different stuff. Again, this album, unless you found someone who wants to collect one of these albums, they're not worth that. They're not worth anything. I think the only time they ever sell is people want the albums because they're collecting them, but they're all gone off. The stamps are just basic kid stamps. Nothing in them. All right, get rid of that one. All right. I wonder if these are storage or there's something else. Again, kid's name on them, so it won't be worth much. Look at all that. It's really been eaten away. And yeah, they're just basic stamps you get from those stamp packs. They're quite nice. They're still in good condition, the stamps, which is great. Some are worse for wear, like missing stuff and everything. So it's missing a corner. That's just really old and stained. But I mean, that looks expensive, but it's not. The thing is, to see an expensive album or a jackpot album, it's like I said, you know, what you saw before. Oh yeah, they're famous prints. We've seen those quite a few times. They're very nice. New Zealand. That's a nice set, but it's not worth anything. Again, very nice. Again, this could go, and you know, you'd sell at a Queensland Stamp Club auction, and $10, 20 if you're really lucky, if there's something in there or a country someone wants to collect. But again, I wouldn't even pay, me personally, $5 because it's just all common stuff. There's nothing I even like in here. I'm not trying to be rude. I mean, it's a great little collection for someone who did it many years ago. Oh, there we go. It's a nice new album, but it's yeah, it's starting to age. See this? There's nothing in it, so he's started moving the stamps across. That's fair enough. I would get rid of this book because all the toning's starting to come in the thing, in the spines. Right, the final one. These little ones that used to get super stamps in them. Yeah, see, writing, as soon as they've written in them, it's a very young person's album. We had a tendency to do that. Yeah, nothing in there. That's it. All right, hold on one sec. So once more, I've got to take a collection back to somebody and go, I've had a look at it and it's worth nothing. You know, you're lucky to be able to sell that for the whole collection together at an auction, a Stamp Club auction, $10, $20 every day. You should be able to get that. People would pick it up and get something out of it to give it away. But those sort of auctions also go below $20. They try and keep the reserves at 20, but yeah, I've seen them go for $5 and $10. And really, probably the big world lot, people could break that up and sell it off a bit more, but a lot of work. If you put it on Facebook, you might be able to get that $50, $60, $100. Especially if you don't really show too many stamps, you just, you know, show a couple of pages, people might be enticed. And that's just beginners trying to start out. No dealer would pay that. And then, you know, you could send it to big auction like McDonald's auction, and prices have been running hot up there and there's nothing in them. I went through the auction house, 16 lots last week, and I'm like, oh, so excited to get back into it and film it. But I left the camera in the car because I'd been upset a few times and they were atrocious. But every box sold for over $100, $120. It was insane. But there was nothing in them. I'd be embarrassed to film them. So, you know, it's up and down. eBay, you could probably put it on eBay, but postage would be more than what you could sell it for. You know, that's just in the breaks. Unfortunately, the stamp market is not as strong as it used to be. Prices have gone down a lot, and 90% of collections out there that people are trying to sell are collections that people built up when they're kids. They haven't added to them, they haven't organized them, they haven't used the catalog to set them out, they haven't even moved into a specialized area. So, you know, heartbreak is telling people this collection of stamps that you really, really love is not worth anything. You know, in dollar terms, it's worth a lot, you know, of how happy it made you as a kid. I mean, my collection I made as a kid, it's part of my bigger collection, but I just kept building on it. And a lot of subscribers would be, you know, real stamp collectors out there, be looking at this video today, and all their collections as kids would have looked exactly the same. But they've built them and made them bigger, made them better. I think now, in the next 10, 20 years, we're going to be picking up more and more collections worth a hell of a lot of money back in the day that no one wants anymore. But we get to enjoy the stamps. Personally, I'm going to get buried with all mine. I'll check them out in the afterlife. Anyway, I hope that helps people who've inherited a collection and want to know what to do. So your best bet is you can take them to a stamp club to sell, but you won't get very much because you've got experts looking at them. If you want to make more money, Facebook Marketplace and put a price on it. And if it sells, great. If not, keep lowering the price until it sells. eBay is another way of doing it. Or you can do the McDonald's auctions or find an auction house. But again, they're not they're not going to go for much. So I think the only two ways you can do is eBay or Facebook Marketplace. All right, guys, have a great day. Hope that helps.